Anything I've been successful at can be attributed in some way to niching. In 2006, I started doing affiliate marketing as a side hustle from my full-time job as a basketball coach and detention supervisor. The very first website I made was loseadoublechin.com. It started out as sort of a joke, but the reality behind it is that I was overwhelmed by the thought of tackling the diet and weight loss industry. I didn't feel secure in my knowledge, not being a physician or having a medical background, or about learning such a broad and complicated topic. On the other hand, chins are just a small part of the body, and I thought I could learn enough about this one area by reading as much information as possible. So I created this site, and I soon ranked #1 for double chin on Google. It was a terrible site, but it ranked #1 for several years. It was quite successful, and it made a lot of money. Then I started thinking, this one site did so well, and it's not even my best work. I bet I can do this again. I ended up making 80 other websites. I earned $100 here, $200 there, but nothing like the success of the Double Chin site. My first mistake, reflecting on this many years in the future, was that I didn't appreciate what I had done right. I had niched. I should have realized what worked and run with it. When I decided to start my digital marketing agency, I initially launched attorneyrankings.org, though we are now rankings.io. I knew I wanted to work in the legal industry, but I was scared that every time I gave up a service, it would hurt my revenue or my positioning. In actuality, every time I chose to not do one thing, other doors opened. I discovered a propensity for search engine optimization, SEO, and I started to find more success. When I went to Vistage, which is a peer advisory group for CEOs, and had my first business review, I was told, you need to offer your services to physicians, home services, and these other niches, because you're doing so well with legal. I didn't take my own advice or learn from my previous experience with all those affiliate sites. Instead, I listened to my peers, who, in retrospect, were in industries that were completely different from mine, and went after a larger cap. I signed a dental practice and a few other clients in other niches, and my momentum slowed. I had more people to sell to, but I was growing at a slower pace. If you've seen those stock market charts with the zigzag arrow showing ups and downs, this was a big red arrow pointing downward. I kept asking myself, what's going on? As you've probably guessed, I had severely discounted my positioning as an expert when I was only specializing in legal. Thankfully, I didn't stay on this path too long. We fixed our positioning, and the arrow started pointing upward again. This time I learned, so well in fact, that niching as a provider of SEO specifically to personal injury attorneys has contributed to our company being an Inc. 5000 recipient for the past 5 years in a row. I also learned that anything I've ever been successful at is because I've been obsessively focused. I won 4th place in a 14,000-player poker tournament because I focused on nothing else for a whole month and reviewed 40,000 hands of poker during that time. I was a top-rated collectible card player because there were many clans to play, but I learned the ins and outs of just a few. In sports, I was successful because I focused on basketball, went to summer basketball camp, and put all my hours and attention into training for just basketball. That focus led to me becoming captain of our conference and being offered scholarships to play college basketball. I'll tell these stories in more detail later, but for now, suffice it to say that I owe my success to niching up.